Hello, friends, and welcome back to my channel. Or welcome if you're new here. My name is Brandy. I am the owner and creator of Boundless Treasures Boutique, and today we are going to be making this hand-painted floral tumbler. I have listed all of the materials I have used below. I'll also include everything in the description as well as some discount codes that I am affiliated with. So, with all of that being said, I hope you guys truly enjoy this one. It was definitely new for me, out of my comfort zone. But I hope you guys enjoy. Please, if you're not subscribed, subscribe to my channel. We're still relatively new, so every subscriber helps. And don't forget to like this video. Let's get started. So I am starting with a sanded and prepped 30-ounce modern curve tumbler from the Stainless Steel Depot. We're going to prep this using chalk paint. I'm using Waverly in the color Ivory. I purchased this paint at Walmart, but you can find chalk paints anywhere. And of course, you can use any color that you're happy with. I chose Ivory just because I thought it was a really classical color and would look really good with what I was looking to do. I ended up having to do 3 coats of this paint in order to get full coverage, which was important for this design because the base is a big part of the design. I let that dry and I was ready to move on to the next step. So here you can see I was practicing these little rosettes. I actually got onto YouTube and just looked up hand painted florals and watched some of those. And then we started creating. Now, one thing that I would do differently when I make another cup like this is I probably wouldn't use this particular makeup brush. I would have used one that didn't leave so many wispies, but it didn't really hurt the design. It actually made it a little bit more whimsy. But to make your rosettes, what you're going to do is you're going to want to start with just a basic circle design. I'm using the Craftsmarts acrylic paints and I'm using the colors red, white. I had picked out a pink, but I actually didn't use that. I just mixed the red and white together and it worked out beautifully. From there, what you're going to do, super simple, you guys, start with a little like dash or part circle in the middle, and then you're just going to make little parentheses or C shapes around that. And then where you see the blank space, you're going to go above that, make parenthesis shapes again to connect the two blank spaces together essentially. I went in with the red and white to create this pinky color. And then I'm also going to go in with just the white. But what you can see me doing here is I'm using these little parentheses that I'm making to help create the form of this rose and kind of get rid of all that extra wispy texture that I personally wouldn't have wanted as much. And then from there, to add a little bit more depth and dimension, I am going to go in and do the same thing with the white colored paint until I am happy with how it looks. The nice part about this is there really isn't a wrong or right way to do it. Just fill it in. I will tell you, I am not a painter. I don't I don't paint. So this was definitely new for me. But I have been so in love with floral patterns as of lately that I really thought it would be fun and nice to try something a little bit new. So here with the blues, my objective was to create a blue peony. Um, I don't know. You guys drop in the comments whether you think I was successful at that or not. I will tell you, I don't think it is all that hard to do this. But again, you're just going to take the same kind of concept and do little like parenthesis shapes all around. You're going to do this a little bit more than you did, or excuse me, a little bit differently than you did the roses. This is going to be like you're going to outline and then you're going to fill in as you go. That way it gives it that fluffy peony look. And then you're going to take a little bit of yellow and a fine point paintbrush and just dab in the middle to create the pollen portion. Now, this part was really cool. Here I am making the stem for my lilacs. I love lilacs. I think they smell so beautiful and they're so pretty. And I thought the way that these videos showed you how to make lilacs was super creative. So you can see off to the left hand, I have got a whole bunch of Q-tips. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to pour out these purple colored paints that I want to use. And we are going to literally submerge these Q-tips into the paints and we are going to start dabbing all over in the form of a lilac. So that is truly all I did. I went back and forth with the whites and the light purple, just that way I could create some dimension. The one thing that I would recommend is I did go straight into my lilacs without letting my stems dry. And so at the base, luckily I was able to fix it, but it did start to get a little muddled and bring the green up into the lilac. So I would just wait until your stems are dry and then move into this next step. But you just really are dabbing whites and purples and mixing the things until you think that it's pretty and it's done. And then I allowed my paints to dry, and from there I moved in to my next step, which was creating the leaves. Now, you would not think that making leaves is that challenging. However, when I started putting down my rosettes, I didn't plan for leaves. So what I would tell you is keep that in mind when you're placing them. Like, where do you want your leaves to go? So some of these, until I started adding the fine details, which we'll get to later, looked a little bit wonky. But I just trusted the process and went with it. You guys, I'm so sorry I'm out of frame. I was seriously trying to concentrate so hard on these dang leaves. But in the end, they turned out super, super cute, and I was super happy with the end result. We let this dry, and once this was dry, we moved on, and I applied 2 coats of epoxy, and then we were ready to come in and add our fine details. So I'm using my Arteza paint pens to create these fine details, and then I have this gold pen. I don't recall what brand it's from, but I got it at Hobby Lobby, and I'm going to use that for some extra details. I did go in and I did do a light sand all over the cup, and this was just to ensure my edges were clean. I didn't have any bumps or lumps, because that is something that we don't want as we go into our final coats of epoxy. So I picked 3 greens that I liked. I actually ended up liking one of them more than the other, and then white. So what I did is I started by outlining everything first. I wasn't precise. I wasn't like, there was no method. I was just kind of sketching outlines. You can see it's pretty rough. It's jagged. But I think that this helped add to this floral piece, and just kind of made it look a little more put together. But I also added white into the middle of all the flowers, and I repeat this process with every single flower that I have on the cup. So I did it with all my roses, and I'm just kind of following the same pattern I did when I was painting them on. I did the same for the blue. The only exception to this is I did not outline the lilacs. I was really worried that if I had outlined them, that it would have taken away from how they looked, the design, everything like that. So, and I really, really, really loved the lilacs. So I just left them alone. So with the leaves, I just drew a line and then the little leaf veins. And this is when they all started to come together for me. I did lean towards that lighter green pin over the dark green and that kind of medium color pin. They're all very pretty, but I just liked the look of the lighter one. So that's the one that I stuck with. And then from there, I wanted to add a little gold embellishments. So I just kind of did like these little half circle lines, some dots, and then I went in and did like like a coil. I feel like that's not the right word. Oh my goodness. Um, but I went in and I did this circular shape spiral. That's the word. And then 3 dots at the end of the spiral. And I just kind of did this in places to fill in any negative space. And it really brought this whole cup together. Once all of that had dried, I went in, I put in my final 2 coats of epoxy. And you guys, here it is. I am, while this is far from perfect, I am so happy with how this cup turned out. I think it is so fun. It's so whimsy. I just really enjoyed making this. So I'm excited to bring you guys more tutorials like this. Please let me know what you thought below. And if you have any questions, don't hesitate to ask. It is the start of the month, so I do have spots open in my mentorship group, so I will have that linked for you. But please follow me on social media. And you guys, if this inspired you to create something similar, tag me. I really love seeing what you guys make. It just brings so much joy to me. And I would love to help share your guys' pages and what you guys are out there creating if that's something that you do. But with that, friends, please again, don't forget to like this video and subscribe to my channel. It helps out more than you could possibly know. And thank you so much for watching, and I will see you all in a couple weeks. Bye now.